Hello there in YouTube land.
Welcome back.
We had a special request for this movie, which is, not something that we commonly have. But a friend of ours in the UK asked us to do a review of Waxwork.
It's fun. It's, 1988?
Yes, and it has Zack Galligan, who is the same guy that was in Gremlins.
Yep.
And it's really, honestly, a fun horror comedy.
It's one of those that you can kind of just settle down and watch. It's not, boo, horror. And that, it's a comfort movie.
Yeah.
It's what we would consider one of our horror comfort movies.
And, it's fun because you kind of have, some standard tropes, you have the rich friend, and you have the friend that's kind of, from the wrong side of the tracks and all this other stuff. But what's a little bit unique about this one is the fact that the rich kid actually it doesn't really matter that he's rich, because that wouldn't have had anything to do with the outcome of the movie at all.
No. So if anybody has kind of looked at Waxwork. This is not the first one. This was actually a remake of a previous one.
Because the original film was actually Waxworks. It had the S on the end.
And it was, I believe, German.
Yeah. So it was an older film.
So the basis is this group of kids goes to, well, I say kids, they're college kids, end up going to this secret invited event at a wax museum.
It's actually opened in a regular neighborhood, which is odd in and of itself.
Yeah. And it has all these different, scenes in it that you would see, scenes from The Wolfman or The Mummy or, just different horror movie scenes.
And you basically see all the standard things. There's Frankenstein, there's a Dracula scene. They get a little bit unique in having the Marquis de Sade.
Yeah, that one was very interesting for that movie. So that's in there. And of course you have your standard, zombies and... But the key of it is these kids are walking around and they're looking what we would do. And commenting, but when you get too close...
You end up sucked into the scene.
And it becomes real.
Yes.
At least as long as you believe it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the basis of the movie is, you kind of get sucked into these scenes. And I was joking with Dani because there's some points where I'm like, this is kind of us. If we were to walk in there really?
Yeah.
This is funny. This is real funny. And the thing that is, what should be, I guess, quote, scary. Some of them are just really comedic. Yes.
Namely, the whole Dracula sequence, the vampires, are going, which is funny in and of itself. But there's this scene of this poor bastard that's laid out on the slab, and they've cut most of all the flesh off one of his legs.
Because they served it at dinner, and then he has a rat gnawing on kind of the rest of it. So he has the girl who gets sucked into the scene, China.
Yeah. Whack
the rat off, of his leg and everything. But he's just laying there. And the thing I pointed out to Dani was, one, there's kind of this guy, he's just talking whatever. I'm not bleeding out from anything. Until something gnaws on him.
Yeah.
But they went to the effort, though, to gray out the leg, if it had lost blood flow. And I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was some thought.
Effort.
I guess you could kind of make the stretch that the dude is just talking la 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 because he's in a severe state of shock. But he certainly came out of it enough for when the rat started chewing that he's like, oh my god, no!
So there's stuff like that, and then, something's up because two of the people leave, and they don't, they think about, well, they're calling, their friends the next day and figuring out, well, they're not home.
What happened to them?
What happened. So then starts kind of this investigative portion of it. And it gets really amusing.
Yeah, it's definitely a horror comedy.
The ride to the rescue scene made me bust out laughing. Because this gentleman who is kind of almost like the researcher, like, has the knowledge base that they go and
he's
talk
sort
to.
of kind of Van Helsing kind of figure.
Van Helsing-y, a little bit Giles, if you've ever seen Buffy. So he comes in his wheelchair that he is somehow armored up like a tank. I'm like, okay.
You know, I want to learn from this dude because that'd be so cool. I mean, imagine a whole army of, like, people who use wheelchairs. Like, they're all outfitted with, like, tanks and stuff to, you know, get rid of monsters. That in and of itself would be an amazing film.
And it's kind of, you know, a nod to, hey, just because you have a handicap doesn't mean you can't kick someone's ass.
Exactly.
So, there's that.
Yeah. So, you know, honestly, there's so much going on for this movie that's positive. Another thing is that you have female characters that are just going to do what they want to do when they want to do it, not because a man tells them to or anything like that. And so it was very forward-thinking for the time.
It was refreshing is what it was, because, you know, a lot of, now don't get me wrong, the Scream Queens are
represented.
Yes. But it gets a little tiresome seeing a female that cannot pick up a baseball bat or something and whack the monster.
Yes. At least try. You know, I mean, we get that, you know, most of the time humans are going to die.
Yeah.
Flat out against monsters. They're going to bite the dust.
Monsters will win. But
at least make an effort to try and, like, hurt the monster in some way.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think most of us as humans would at least try, you know, even if all we had was a stapler, we'd try and put staplers in the damn monster, you know, something.
So, Waxwork, watch it, it's fun. It is not a, you know, oh my god, scary movie.
No.
It's not complete comedy, it's a horror comedy.
It is. And, you know, it's streaming free on Tubi right now.
Yep.
And, so there's no excuse not to watch it, because it's there, ready to be...
Yeah. Enjoyed.
Yep. So comment down below with a unusual horror comedy that you've seen.
Let us know. We might watch it. We may review it.
Yep. So, until next time.
Bye.